Hello, if you've been reading around Filipino news lately, you will find articles talking about the reintroduction of captive bred bleeding heart doves from Singapore to the Philippines. These birds are from the genus Galli columba. Galli meaning chicken and columba meaning pigeon. They're called this because they behave and function ecologically kind of like chickens. So they don't fly much and they like to stay on the ground eating seeds and fruits on the forest floor. However, very noticeably, their most striking feature is undoubtedly their bleeding hearts. This is why so many of them are called bleeding heart doves. There are 6 existing species in Galli columba, with 4 of those being found only in the Philippines, and those 4 being the only ones to have that big bright red bleeding heart. Now, there's a lot of things that we can talk about when it comes to Galli columba, like their conservation, their range, their history. However, what I want to know most about is why they have such big bright red bleeding hearts. Why do they need such a distinctive marking on their chest? Now, as far as I know, disclaimer, there have been no recent definitive research papers answering that question. However, we can still speculate or create our own conclusions based on knowledge about other birds. If you take a feather from the chest area of the bleeding heart dove and dissolve it in specific chemicals and look at the compounds that are left, you will find carotenoids. These are pigments found in plants, and if you see a plant with a fruit or flower or seed or root that's like yellow, orangish, reddish, that plant likely has a form of a carotenoid. Now, birds like our bleeding heart doves cannot synthesize carotenoids in their body. They have to get these pigments from somewhere else, like the fruits or seeds that they eat. For example, these 2 flamingos are of the same species, but one hasn't had a good carotenoid-rich meal recently, so they stay not so pink and kind of whitish. But the other one is a beautiful, bright reddish pink, likely because it's been eating a lot of these carotenoid-rich brine shrimp. It likely works similarly in bleeding heart doves. This is a form of honest signaling in the animal world. It's an honest signal because to get a good color on your bleeding heart, you likely have to be, number 1, not injured or deformed in a way that hinders you from finding the right food. Number 2, active enough to find enough of the right food. And number 3, internally healthy enough to digest and display these carotenoids. You can compare this to something like humans having a fit body. It's a signal to other members of the species that an individual is healthy, would produce good offspring, and make a good mate. Essentially, the bleeding heart markings of the bleeding heart dove ay pampapogi. Hindi to sponsored, pero if gusto nyong sumuporta ng konserbasyon at pagpaparami ng Negros bleeding heart dove, mag-donate o bumisita kayo sa Talarak Foundation sa Negros. That's all. Thank you, and follow if you want to learn more about Filipino biodiversity. Bye!